This is Dave Walsh, host of Card Talk, playing the next scenario in the Angmar Awakened campaign. We are at the Treachery of Rhudaur, and this is where the difficulty ramps up. This particular quest isn't necessarily horribly difficult. The reason why I say it ramps up is because you never feel like when you're playing solo that you can actually defeat these side quests. If you're lucky, you can get through two, and if you're okay, you can get through one of them. So I know I'm going to be leaving stuff behind here. Before I shuffle up my deck and draw my opening hand, I need to show you two boons that I've earned, and we'll do that right now. So on the left is Silverthorn. It's a weapon that's restricted. It goes on a hero, and if a hero is attacking or defending some enemy that matches a trait that's already put in the victory display, you get +1 attack and +1 defense. And then it has a response that you're able to take an enemy that you destroy, and you're able to put it in the victory display. I'm hoping that maybe that goes on Celeborn like it did in Escape from Mount Graham, which is where I earned it. The other boon, the one there on the right, is Determination. That's a readying boon, and I feel like I've missed out on using it a ton. I just, for some reason, didn't play it when we were going through the winning scenario of Mount Graham, actually the only time I played it. And then I never got it in the winning scenario of Ettenmoor's. So I only have one character that's actually determined, and that's Thranduil. And that's good, but at this point I could have 3 characters that are determined, so that when this thing comes out, it would ready a bunch. But that's the problem with some cards, is you have to actually draw them. So those are a couple of boons, and I'm going to shuffle up my deck, and I'll draw my opening hand. Let's do my opening hand here. This is a particularly questy quest, willpower-y quest. So I need things to be able to give me some willpower, things that I can bring in right away. And none of these do that. The only good thing is I got an Unexpected Courage, but I can't play that until round 2. So let's shuffle up and take a mulligan. This is significantly better. So I get a Feigned Voices, which is great. Well, we'll go over it. I'm stuck taking this hand because it's my second mulligan, or my first mulligan. It's my second hand. So let's go over setup and campaign setup and go over the cards in my hand. So the first quest card, side 1A, it says make the Great Hall the active location. So let's take a look at the Great Hall. The Great Hall is a unique 4-threat, 8 quest point location. It says when the Great Hall is explored, each player discards the top 5 cards of the encounter deck and chooses an undead enemy discarded in this way to add to the staging area. And the big problem with that is it has 8 quest points, and I'm trying to complete side quests. So trying to complete side quests and getting over the 8, it's just ends up being a lot. That's why I'm not going to be able to get through the side quests. Okay, it says set Rhudaur aside out of play. So we'll look at Rhudaur when he comes into play, and it says add the 3 Treachery of Rhudaur side quests to the staging area. Quest side face up. So let's take a look at that. We'll go in order by quest points. So the one with the least number of quest points, Decipher Ancient Texts, has 14 quest points. And it says, while Decipher Ancient Texts is the current quest, allies get -2 willpower. That's pretty horrible. But it says pay 1 resource to place 1 progress on Deciphering Ancient Texts. So CE can pay to make progress, which may be nice if I could get the copy of Steward of Gondor out. Otherwise, I don't know. When you defeat it, you get to flip it over. The second side quest has 16 quest points. And it says, while Quiet the Spirits is the current quest, each undead enemy that enters play immediately engages the player with the highest threat. Enemies that engage a player from this effect still contribute their threat to the total threat in the staging area until the end of the phase. So it's like they come into play in the staging area, except they come into play and they engage you, but their threat still counts. And it says after an enemy is destroyed, place 2 progress on Quiet the Spirits. that one is tough because playing solo, you're relying on getting enemies out, and that sometimes is hard. And the last one is called Sift Through Debris. It has 18 quest points, so you see a pattern here. We go 14, 16, 18, and it says, well, Sift Through Debris is the current quest. Each location in the staging area gets +1 threat. So we have the enemy one, the location one, and then we have the resource one, so it's kind of crazy. And then it says, after a location is explored, place 2 progress on Sift Through Debris. And then we flip it. So we flip all of them, and on the other side there's these things that you find that help you along the way. The next sentence says, search the encounter deck for 1 copy of Ancient Causeway and add it to the staging area. So here's the Ancient Causeway. It says, when Ancient Causeway is explored, raise each player's threat by 2. So lots of threat. And then it says the first player gains control of Amarthiel. We'll look at Amarthiel in a minute. We'll flip this over now to side 1B. So this has time 5. After the last time counter is removed from Secrets of Rhudaur, remove each Treachery of Rhudaur side quest from play, from the game, and immediately advance to stage 2. So we have 5 rounds to make as much progress as we can. And it says, during the quest phase, Secrets of Rhudaur cannot be chosen as the current quest. And then if for some reason we could explore all 3 side quests, we would immediately advance 2, but that's not going to happen. The campaign card is pretty straightforward in this. It just says you are playing in campaign mode. Okay, great. No extra things to set up. And that's pretty good because, we've earned a bunch and we have some things going. And I think I counted 8 new modifications to the game that I have earned. 9 total cards probably. Okay, so Cunning is a permanent boon, and that means that it always gets put on the same hero at the beginning of the game. It can't be put on any other hero. We can't switch it around. If the hero dies, the boon goes with it. And we've been putting it on Thranduil. I panned this card when I first saw it, and I may have picked a different one. Maybe if I play the campaign again, I'll do something different. But the reason why I like it is it adds 2 resources at the beginning of the game. And I have been able to activate Cunning and take advantage of those bonuses there. So that's pretty good. And so I put Thranduil there too, because you can see his combat action says play a Sylvan ally from your hand, and you do not need a resource match for this ally, and you get to do that during the combat phase. That's been clutch and always has been clutch. Thranduil is a king when it comes to bringing people out. He was the Sylvan hero we all kind of needed. He's also like super defendy, having 3 defense and 4 hit points. The first player takes control of Amarthiel, and I'm never going to use his response, but coupled with Amarthiel's courage, which again is a setup, so if he just gets it to begin with, you don't have to dig through your deck for it. It says attach to Amarthiel, otherwise remove Amarthiel's courage from the game, and Amarthiel gets +1 willpower and +1 hit points. That +1 willpower may end up being really good, just to be able to quest through these side quests at the beginning of the game. 2 burdens that I've earned there on the left is Arnor Ravaged. It's so funny. I've said about 14 different versions of that. I feel a little silly sometimes when I edit these videos, but it's Arnor Ravaged. It's not Angmar Ravaged or Arnor Rampaged or any of these other things that I've said. But Arnor Ravaged gets put in the staging area, and that 1 damage is put on the character that has to take combat damage. So it takes some sort of combat damage that doesn't kill something, and it gets an extra hit point of damage. And then on the right, in the last scenario, I earned 2 copies of Losing Time, and that gets shuffled into the encounter deck, and it says each player must either raise their threat by 3 or exhaust a hero they control. That's a choice. Because it says must either, you get to choose which one you want to do. The other 2 burdens, I guess, the side quest is not really a burden, or is not labeled as such. I have fended off despair once, and so that means that I was able to lower my starting threat by 2. If I'm able to continue to fend off despair throughout the rest of my campaign, each time I'm able to lower my threat by 2 for each time in each scenario that I'm able to do it. And we haven't seen Thardir's Majesty, but I was able to earn, if you want to say that, this burden at the beginning of the scenario. I feel like it was Dead Man's Dyke. And we haven't seen Thardir since, but he's going to make his way out. So it's a setup, and it gets attached to Thardir even though he's out of play. And it says, forced after sorcery, treachery is revealed. Move Thardir Majesty to the hero with the most non-objective attachments. Counts as a sorcery attachment with the text attached here. Gets -2 willpower, or -2 attack, and cannot commit to the quest. So that's going to most likely always going to go on to Thranduil. He's the one that has all of the attachments, and he's just going to be my defender. I do appreciate him and his willpower being able to commit to the quest with the questy MasterCard, but so I can use it right now, but we'll see what happens when Thardir comes out. So let's take a look at my hand. On the left, we have the Glathrim Weaver. It can attack or defend, so it's immediately going to just be used to quest, which is fine. And it says after it enters play, we'll shuffle a top card into my discard pile, into my deck. So that's good to keep kind of the important zero cost events coming. And then the Marksman of Lorien is amazing because he when he comes into play, he has 3 attack and 2 hit points, so he's not really susceptible to or like an archery or like a deal 1 damage or whatever. But when he comes into play, the loss of 2 shield or 2 defense to an enemy, coupled with Celeborn's bonus of an extra 1 the round he comes into play, I mean, you're basically doing 6 damage to a enemy. On the left, I was able to draw Determination in my opening hand, and so Determination we already talked about, so that's good. And then I have Nenya, which is the Ring of Power that gets attached to Galadriel, and that's really good because now I'm able to use her for questing, which allows me to then add more progress to side quests and things like that. So hopefully I say that hopefully I'll be able to get through 2 side quests. I don't know. I'm hoping. 1 will be fine, but 2 would be great. And the last 2 cards in my hand are Island Amid Perils and Feigned Voices. These are those zero cost events that help me keep the Sylvans coming in and out of play. Island Amid Perils, you bring a Sylvan back into your hand and you lower your threat by the cost of the Sylvan. And then Feigned Voices is a combat action, so you can't cancel like any time, but you can cancel during combat, and you return a Sylvan ally you control to cancel an attack. It's good. It's like a feint. Some people call this like the enchilada, the elven enchilada, or the elven hamburger, but because it looks like that elf is eating a phony hamburger there, but it's fine. And then the last card, I will go, normally I get the Defendy MasterCard, but in this case I'm going to go get the Questy MasterCard. Okay, so on the left I just put out the One Ring to remind people what it did. I know I went in detail early on in the campaign about what all my heroes do, but I wanted to remind people that I am playing with the One Ring. I know that it's also a very polarizing card. Some people think it's really powerful or too powerful, but I'm doing it because I'm trying to just see how the One Ring interacts with Thranduil, and I'm not using a ton of MasterCards. I only have 2 MasterCards in the whole entire deck, like not even 2 types of MasterCards, but just 2, one of which I get to pull out at the beginning of the game. So the ring itself doesn't do anything. In order to use whatever MasterCard you have to exhaust the ring and raise your threat by 1. And then the other thing that the that the One Ring does is it lowers your threat elimination level to 45. So it can get hairy. I've threaded out a few times, not during the campaign playing this, but just in off-camera stuff, and so it can be a little hairy at times. But the power of command I'm picking because I want to be able to make progress and questing, and I want to be able to do all the good things. So the power of command is the questy master card. And last but not least, I figured I've gone over everything else. Might as well refresh ourselves about the other two heroes. Gladriel cannot attack or defend, but what she can do is you can exhaust her to lower your threat by 1 and draw a card. Plus her innate ability, it's not even an action, it just is when an ally comes into play. It doesn't even have to be an elf. When an ally comes into play, that ally does not exhaust a quest, so you're already getting action advantage. And then you couple that with Celeborn on the right there, and when a Sylvan enters play, that Sylvan gets +1 willpower, attack, and defense. So you get a bonus, and they don't exhaust a quest. That's really good together. And if anybody's new or you don't know what's going on there with the Galadriel on the left, you're like, my Galadriel doesn't look like that. That is the alt art Galadriel, the official alt art Galadriel, and I had it signed by Caleb Grace. He came on the show. The first episode he ever did for Card Talk, we talked about Galadriel. And Caleb, I know you don't watch these, but I will say that I have come around to really love and appreciate Galadriel. More than just my rating. I think I rated it a 4 out of 10. He gave it a 1. He gave it the best rating. But nonetheless, that's a great card, and that's why I have it signed. Before I get into this, I just want you to know, look down at the playtime there in the YouTube player, see what it is right now. And this is why I edit my videos, add transitions and stuff, because right now I'm at 33 minutes and 30 seconds of recording time. So anyways, I have my heroes. I have Amarthiel. I have Arnor Ravaged. I have the location in the staging area. I have my side quests. The active location is that Great Hall with 8 quest points, the quest cards, and my threat. My threat is set to 27 because I was able to fend off despair. This is my starting hand. So 2 resources. And the other thing is that Thranduil gets an extra resource, and then I draw, and I get the Elven King. Let's take a look at the Elven King so you know what it does. So the Elven King gets attached to a Sylvan hero, so definitely not Galadriel. It will probably be Thranduil. And when you exhaust the Elven King, it will return a Sylvan ally to your hand. Again, going back to the whole Sylvans coming in and out of play. And you get to ready the attached hero. So that's going to be great for Thranduil to be able to maybe quest and defend, or defend twice. I don't know, whatever he's going to do. So I think the first thing that I will do is undoubtedly put Nenya onto Galadriel. Then I'm going to put the power of command onto Thranduil. And then I'm going to use the Elven King and put the Elven King on Thranduil. And then I'm going to bring in the Glathrim Weaver to be able to do some questing. I'm going to make... This is why it's always so hard for me. I'm sorry. I'm going to make Quiet the Spirits. I need the willpower right away. I have 2 allies out, and I can't not have them adding to the quest. So I'm hoping to be able to get through this and make at least something on this. So, okay. So I'm going to quest for 2, and this guy's 2, so that's 4. 7. And that's going to be 9. I had to get my little things out so there's 3 in the staging area, and there's 9 right now. I just committed Thranduil to the quest, and this has to happen after you commit to the quest. You can't do power of command like after everything. So I'm gonna use power of command to raise my threat and add an increase 1, 2, 3 characters. So that gives me an extra 2 right now. But if she commits, she's at 5. So okay, so I'm at 11. That's the most I can quest for. That'll get me through this and this without making any progress on the side quests. So we'll see what we get here. And so I get a Treachery. We'll take a look at the Treachery together. So it says Restless Evil. It says each undead enemy gets +1/+1/+1 until the end of the round. If there are no undead enemies in play, Restless Evil gains Surge. Okay, so let's see what this Surge is into. And we get the Eerie Halls. And so as an action, you can raise your threat to reduce by 1 the threat of the Eerie Halls until the end of the phase. So that is a super big bummer because 5 threat is a ton. I know that I can raise my threat, but I mean, there's only so much threat I have to give. So, but I'm gonna do as much as I can here. So that's good. Restless Evils in the discard pile. Eerie Halls is here. So there's 8 in the staging area. I did 11. I don't have any enemies to worry about here, so I might as well go all in on anything that I can do. So I'm going to exhaust Nenya and Galadriel for an extra 5. So I'm at 16 versus 8. So I'm through these 2, plus I'm through the location. And I'm going to have to go look for an undead to engage me. I'm okay with that. But we'll, it's fine. Okay. So I'm going to raise my threat by 5. Because I'm going to take this action to bring this threat down to 0. Okay. So that means that I was able to put 5 on this quest. Okay. Which, I don't know about anybody else, but being able to do 5 on one of the side quests solo is, I think, pretty good. Okay, so I was able to explore this. This has victory points, but I get progress on the side quest here. This side quest. Okay. And after I explore the halls, I find an undead enemy. And I only have 1 undead enemy to find, so let's take a look at it. I get the Weight of Rhudaur, and it says, while the current quest has 1 or more progress on it, Weight of Rhudaur gains Surge, and it says, while the current quest has 0 progress on it, Weight of Rhudaur gains Doomed 2. And because I'm adding it to the staging area, none of that has to worry about it. So there's the Weight of Rhudaur. He's going to end up engaging me at 25 or 23 engagement. Fortunately, I can defend him, but I won't be able to do anything much more than that. Let's see. So I guess I will travel to the Eerie Halls. Okay, this will come in and engage me. I'm going to use the Elven King to ready Thranduil, and then bring this guy back into my hand. It may be worth playing Determination. At some point, I'm going to play Determination. I can't do any damage to this thing right yet, but I'm hoping to. Maybe next round. Okay, so deal it a shadow card. I will defend with Thranduil. Thranduil is defending for 3. I still have Cunning, so that's an option here. There is a shadow effect. It says attacking is +1. Instead, +2 if there are a copy of the defending character in its owner's discard pile. There is not, so 1 damage to Thranduil, and then Arnor Ravaged. I do the 2nd damage. This guy stays engaged with me of round, I guess. Okay, I'll give myself some resources. And I raised my threat. I'm at 34 threat already. That was a crazy, but it's just what I have to do. I haven't drawn a card yet, so let's see what I get. Okay, I get the Galathrum Minstrel, which isn't going to help me do anything right now. So I'm going to spend 1, and I'm going to bring out this guy, this woman again, this person, and I think I'm going to leave all of this. Okay, so now I'm going to quest. So I'll quest for 2. Let me make sure I do this right. I'm going to quest for 2, 4, 7. And then I'm going to use Thranduil to quest. I'm going to raise my threat by 1 and exhaust the 1 ring to give myself some more willpower. So that gives 2 more willpower. So that's 9, and then Thranduil was 2, so that's 11. So I'm back to 11. So this is the current quest. So if I reveal an enemy, it's got to come into play, engage with me. That could be a problem. So reveal. Okay, so let's take a look at this treachery. So Curiosities of Sorrow. It says Surge. It says when revealed, the first player must choose a new quest to be the current quest if able. I'm going to pick the enemy one, or the location-y one. Every location gets an extra threat. So I'm at 4 threat in the staging area. This has Surge, so let's see what it surges into. When revealed, deal 1 damage to each exhausted character. Each player with a threat of 35 or higher must also discard each exhausted attachment he controls. Okay, well, I don't have an exhausted attachment, but I can do 1 damage to each exhausted character, which is 3 of them. The 1 ring is exhausted. It's immune to non-master effect. Okay, so there's this. I put a damage onto Thranduil, onto Celeborn, and onto Amarthiel. And then I'm going to use Galadriel. 1, 2, 3, 4. Add 4, 5 to the quest, so I'm at 16 again. Okay, so this location gets discarded. I get more progress put on the side quest here. And in the staging area is 4 threat. So I did 16, 12. So I would have cleared, let's see, what can I do? Can I do anything to help increase my threat? No. Okay, you know what I need to do? I'm sorry. I didn't do this, but there are 4 time counters on this quest. We're in the 2nd round. That would have been wild if I would have been able to do it. Oh, yes. Look at what I'm going to do. I'm going to use Thranduil's... I wish I could. You know what? I'm going to use Thranduil's ability. And so I'm going to use Cunning. So that increases his willpower by 2. So that's 18. And I did 4 onto the Eerie Halls. And then I did 14 here, so I'm actually able to clear a side quest. So let's flip it over and see what I get. This is the Heirloom of Iarkon. At one point, I thought this was a typo because Iarion is the ranger or the Dunedain that we're searching for, but it's not. This is an heirloom of one of his ancestors. And it says, exhaust Amarthiel or a hero to claim the heirloom of Iarkon, then attach heirloom to that character. attached character gets +1 willpower. So this would be a good thing to go on to Galadriel. But I have to exhaust somebody in order to claim it. So I don't know if that's exactly what I want to do. But anyways, it goes up in the staging area, and I can at least got one. Now we travel. So I'm going to travel here to the Ancient Causeway. Okay. And now I don't have anything to engage. There's no threat in the staging area. Okay, so I will deal a shadow card. And I'm going to play Feigned Voices to cancel this attack, to pull this guy back up into my hand. Okay, and now I'm going to spend 3 to pull out the Marksman of Lorien. I'm going to target this guy, and now I'm going to ready a Marthiel using his attachment, Marthiel's Courage, and then I'm going to attack with 3, 7, and that's going to kill this guy with the -2 willpower. So it's good. I don't want to see the Curse Dead in there, but that's fine. And then that guy's dead, and now I get to put some progress here. Okay, so I'm almost through here. Well, I'm halfway, just a little over halfway here, and then I'm nowhere near this one. So I don't know, not bad. So end of round, we will remove a time counter, raise our threat. I have a lot of threat raising going on here, so I may start using Galadriel to lower my threat. Okay, draw a card, and I get another Galadriel Weaver. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I would love to see some healing. I do have Island Amid Perils, so that's not horrible. Let's see. So I'm going to use the 1 to bring out this Weaver. That's going to take the Feigned Voices and put it into and shuffle back into my deck. Okay, so I am going to... I feel like I should make... Well, I'm going to make this the active location. So I don't have anything in the staging area. So let's see. I'm going to do 2, 4, 7. And then if I need to, I can add this. I'm not questing with Thranduil, and I'm hopeful to not, I'm hopeful to not have to use her so that I can do a thing. Now, if an enemy comes out, it has to be engaged with me, so that's kind of a pain in the neck, but let's see what we get here. So I get this Centuries of Sorrow. You've seen this before. This is the one that has to make me choose a new side quest. Okay, so I guess this guy, and now this immediately lowers the amount of questing that I did by 4, and it had Surge, so let's see what Surge is into. Deal 1 damage to each exhausted character. Then discard each exhausted attachment. So I don't have any exhausted attachments, but I have to do 1 damage. I don't have any cancellation or healing. Okay, I'm down to 3. You know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to use Galadriel. That changes, so now we're up to 7 again. Okay. So 2 here. This location is explored. I have to raise my threat by 2. And I get to put 5 progress on this side quest. Bummer. Let's see. And I'm going to spend 2 resources to bring out the minstrel. Okay, I knew I drew the minstrel earlier. Let me show you what the minstrel does. So the minstrel allows me to take the top 5 cards and look for an event, and then bring it into my hand. So that's what I'm going to do. And the event that I just got was the Tree People. And the Tree People is great because I'm able to bring a Sylvan into my hand, look at the top 5 cards, and then put out an ally that I get in those top 5 cards. And so the hope is that you exchange like for something really weak for something really big. So that's my hope. So that was a good play. At this point, I'm hoping that this guy upgrades into a into a Sylvan Tracker. I have a lot of damage out here. Okay, so I am done with combat. So now we'll ready. I'll raise my threat. I'm not going to do Tree People until the next round so I can get the boost in willpower. So we'll do it all up here. Okay, so I get Hennemarth Riversong. I know he's a core set, but let's take a look at him. So Hennemarth Riversong is a 1 cost, 1 hit point lore ally, and basically he allows me to see the top card of the encounter deck. And that is phenomenal because when you're playing solo, typically you only get 1 card. And so, you're allowed to be able to see all sorts of good stuff. So I love Hennemarth in this deck. If you're wondering why it looks a little different than your card, is because this is from the 2-player starter, the collector's edition. So I use those cards. I don't save them. So what's the point of having special cards if you don't actually get to use them? Okay, I forgot to give myself some resources here. Okay, so I'm going to play the Tree People now, and I'm going to pull this Weaver back up into my hand. And I only got 1 ally, which is fine, but it's Rhudaur. So let's take a look and see what Rhudaur does so that you know. So Rhudaur is a 4 cost, 2 willpower, 2 attack, 1 defense, 2 hit point tactics ally. He's I feel like I'm doing a show right now. He's ranged and he's a Sylvan Scout. And the response is the thing that you want to see. It says after Rhudaur is played from your hand, you deal damage equal to the number of ranged characters you have on the board. Right now I just have, including him, I have 2 ranged characters on the board. But I will tell you that I'm thinking that this is a good target for maybe an Island of Mid Perils to reduce my threat by 4 because my threat's up to 39. Okay, so there's Rhudaur. Rhudaur comes into play. He doesn't exhaust a quest, so that's a good sign. I'm going to bring in Hennemarth also here. Okay, for 1. And then I'm going to exhaust Hennemarth to look at the top card of this deck. And it is a Cursed Dead. This is going to be rough. I'll show you the Cursed Dead because when it happens, it's going to happen real quick. So the Cursed Dead are going to swarm here. This is the pain in the neck. It's when revealed is put each copy of Cursed Dead in the discard pile into play in the staging area. They don't get revealed, but it's possible that when this happens, you end up with like 3 or 4 or 5 different Cursed Dead out with you. So it's a pain in the neck. I just looked. I have 2 copies of the Cursed Dead in the discard pile ready to go. So I'm going to have 3. They're not hard to kill. They're just a pain in the neck because they attack for 3. So it's going to be hard to deal with. Okay, so whenever I peek at the top of the encounter deck, I always just keep it face up, and then I pulled out just so you know the 2, so we're ready to go with that. So I'm going to have 3 big defenders. I can defend with Marthiel, I can defend with Thranduil, and then I can defend with Thranduil a second time, and then I'm hoping that maybe I can kill something, but I don't think, well, maybe I will be able to, I don't know. But it's going to be a little rough here. It's going to be some rough going. But I'm going to have 3 in the staging area, so at least I know what I need to do to quest. So Rhudaur, let's see. I can quest with this guy. Is this the person that I want questing? Probably. So this is 3. -1 or -2 is 1. So I'm questing here for 1. 3. Let's see. Can I get through with 8? That'd be 5. I'm not going to be able to get through with that many. What if I make this the current quest? Oh, and then they're all going to engage me. So I don't want that to happen. I mean, they're all going to engage me anyways. So can I make it through this? Probably not. Same thing. And then I could use the money maybe to clear that quest. And then hopefully in the last one I can do this. I still have, it's funny, I have the clue objective there. So if I quest here, that's 1 and 3 is 4. So that's 4. This guy, because this is the quest, each of my allies gets -2 willpower. I don't think I'm going to be able to clear, in order for me to clear all 3 of these things, I would need to be able to clear 1 now. And so I may be able to clear 1 now. 3. Thranduil is questing for 2. I could send Thranduil for 2. And then Thranduil's 2 more. For 6. Okay. So here we go. Cursed Dead come out. 1, 2, 3. So that's 3 in the staging area. It's a bummer. Okay, and now I'm going to quest with, and then I'm going to add to the quest. Wait, I did this wrong. Before I did this, I want to use his ability to be able to boost my unique heroes. So I'm still gonna, nothing has changed about it. I'm still just playing math the game. So like I didn't reveal this and then decide I knew it was coming. So I'm at 40 threat. And so that adds 1, 2. It's going to add 2 more. So that's 8. Let's see, right? Okay. And then I'll quest with, or I'll add her to the quest. And that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. That puts 13 here. And now I'm able to claim this guy. Wow. I'm doing not horribly, although I am at 40 threat. So, okay, so let's flip this over. We have orders from Angmar, and we'll see what that is. So it says, exhaust a Marthiel or a hero to claim orders from Angmar. Then attach orders from Angmars to that character. Attached character gets +1 while defending against undead enemies. So that thing is not restricted. That I'm going to have to put onto Thranduil immediately, if not sooner. All 3 of these guys come down and engage me. So now you're wondering, what the heck what do you have up your sleeve? Okay, these guys are all attacking for 3. So, I mean, what could I possibly have up my sleeve? So, well, let's see. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3. I'm going to defend 1 with a Marthiel, this guy. And it says, for each point of damage dealt by this attack, remove 1 progress from each quest in play. No damage is done by that attack, so that's done. So here's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to spend 1, and that's going to, let's see, I'm going to put Determination onto a Marthiel. So now that readies a Marthiel, and it also readies Thranduil. So that's how Determination works. Determination was on Thranduil, was on a Marthiel. Life is good. Okay, and I still have a Thranduil's combat action to bring somebody out if I want. And I have some characters that I can bring out if I need to. We'll see what we got here. So I'm going to use Thranduil to attack, or to defend this one here. No shadow. That's great. Okay, and now let's see. I'm going to use the Elven King to bring Henemarth back into my hand. That readies Thranduil. And now I'm going to use Thranduil to defend this third one. And there's no shadow there. Okay. I am psyched. Okay. So now let's see what I can do. I can kill one of these guys. Ready? 1, kill, done. I can kill another one of these guys. This guy, because he came out this round. And then I can kill the third one here with this guy. So 3 of them are dead. And that's what I was hoping to do. I'm going to spend the 1. It's still the combat. So I'm going to bring out Henemarth. He's ready. And before the end of the round, I'm going to exhaust him, and I'm going to see what's on top. Okay. So let's ready. Raise my threat by 1. I'm really trying to get all 3 of these things. So and now draw. I get another copy of Nenya. Doesn't do me any good. So I have, this has to go on Nenya, or this has to go on Galadriel. This has to go onto, this could also go onto Celeborn. Can I make 9 progress here? There's no locations. This is a treachery that's going to surge, so that doesn't give me anything. And this is the one where the enemies come down, engage me. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend 1 to bring out this guy or this girl, and that takes the top card of my discard pile and puts it into the deck, and I shuffle my deck. Okay, so can I get up to 9 without anything? Well, 2, 5, 6, 7, and then I need to keep people out because I need to make sure that I am able to. Ready? 2, 3, 4, 6. 2, 3, 4, 7. Okay. 7, 8. Oh, I forgot to remove a time counter. So this is the last time I can do this here. Okay, 7 with her is 11. And so as long as I don't get anything crazy, I should be able to do this. Okay, I will use Thranduil. I'm going to hope there's 5 cursed dead in this encounter deck. I'm hoping that the card underneath this isn't one of them, because I've already seen 3. So I'm at 9. And I'm not triggering the 1 ring. So, and I've already used that, so okay. So this whiffs, it's Restless Evil. There's no undead enemies in the staging area. So, and I get a I get the Decrepit Remains. Let's see what happens with this. It says, while Decrepit Remains is in the staging area, each location and side quest in the staging area can get +2 quest points. Oh, I hate that. So let's see what that does. So this is in the staging area. Oh, I see what I can do. Okay. So let's see. That's 1. So I make 8 progress here. And so that's... Okay, but I'm going to use Galadriel here, I guess. I'm going to use Galadriel with Nenya to add 4. So it's not even going to matter. I was going to get all fancy. So, but... Okay, so now I clear this side quest. So now that, because this side quest is clear, now I can move on to the next quest card. But let's take a look at what this does and what the next quest card does, and we'll go from there. Okay, so this is Dakenar's brand, and it says exhaust Marthiel or a hero to claim Dakenar's brand, then attach Dakenar's brand to that character. It says that character is getting +1 while attacking undead enemies. So that's going to go on to Celeborn. So now everybody's got a thing. I'm pretty happy about that. Okay, so this says, when revealed, add Thardir to the staging area. Each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for an undead enemy and adds it to the staging area. Shuffle the encounter deck. So let's look at Thardir. Okay, so there is Thardir. It says, after a Treachery card with the sorcery trait is revealed from the encounter deck, Thardir heals 3 damage and makes an immediate attack against the player. He's got 1 hit point and he attacks for 6, so I'm going to have to chump him as best I can. I don't have much to chump him with, though, so that's going to be a little disheartening. And then Thardir's Majesty, which we talked about already, just means that when the sorcery, so even more happens when the sorcery reveals. So it looks like Thranduil is going to end up having -2 attack, which is fine because he's not attacking, and I can't commit him to the quest after a sorcery is revealed. So let me go look for an undead enemy and put that guy into play. So I'm picking the Cursed Dead because you're adding it to the staging area. You don't have to do the one revealed, and these are the wimpiest ones out there. So yeah, I have to engage it, but I'm going to have to engage any of the undead things. So I might as well do that, and then we'll see what I can do against Thardir. And then let's look at side 2B of the quest card. So right now this has 30 quest points, but it says Thardir's Pursuit has -5 quest points for each clue objective attached to a character. I have all 3 clue objectives out, but I'm going to want to, I don't want to get them all at once here. So it says the stage cannot be defeated while Thardir has any hit points remaining. If the stage is defeated, the players win the game. So I have to make, well, right now 30, but probably 15 progress, plus I have to kill Thardir. That's going to be a little bit of a challenge given what's going on right now, but we're going to do our best. Okay, so now we have to make some, what do we have to do? Spit it out, Walsh. We have to travel. So I'm going to travel to the Decrepit Ruins. This was the first time and maybe only time that I've ever seen the word decrepit spelled out. So I think that's funny. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to engage Thardir, and I will engage the Cursed Dead. Thardir I'm going to have to chump, and I'm thinking I'm going to have to chump with, unfortunately, like the Marksman of Lorien, because that's a pain in the neck. I'm going to end up, let's see, maybe I won't. Let's see, I'm going to ready Thranduil, and by readying Thranduil, I can, let's see, I can bring somebody back into my hand that may be a better chump. Okay. I will bring I guess I'll bring the minstrel back into my hand. Okay. So let's see. So now it is combat, so we'll deal shadow cards. It's weird the Cursed Dead gets a shadow card before the big boss enemy, but he's got 1 threat, so. Okay. So, combat action, I will bring out the Galathra Minstrel, and by doing that, I get to search for an event. Maybe I get a Faint Voices. And I don't get a Faint Voices. I actually get 0 events. I get 4 attachments and an ally. I get Silverthorn, which would be awesome right now. Elf Friend. Grumpy. Okay. So, the best laid plans of mice and men. The Galathra Minstrel whiffs. Okay, so the Cursed Dead I will defend with Amarthiel. Doesn't matter if I defend with Amarthiel or Thranduil. They both have the same defense and same hit points. It's just that he's got 1 less damage on him. So if I get some sort of weird damage, something or other, I don't know. Okay, no shadow though, so that's good. Whew. Okay, no damage to Amarthiel. And now I'm going to chump the Minstrel. No damage, no shadow. Let me just... So this guy dies. And now I can attack back. I have a lot of attacking stuff, I guess. I don't know if I can... Let's see. If I do 3... I can't really put any damage. I have to kill this. So I'm going to kill that by doing this. So this guy dies. So that's the 4th one of those. I hope I don't get a Cursed Dead anytime soon. I am going to exhaust Thranduil right now and get the Defendy orders from Angmar. So that clue is on him. And then, let's see. I can't do any more damage, and I can't ready anybody else to do anything. So I think I'm going to call it a day here. So I still have 0 in the staging area and quest. So okay, so now we're going to ready people here. I'm going to raise my threat. I'm at 42 threat, so I'm really precariously situated here. And I get a Handmaiden, which is nice if I had the resources, but I don't. Okay, so I'm going to have to chump here. I think I'm going to exhaust Amarthiel, and I'm going to put Dakinar's brand onto Amarthiel, giving him 4 attack. So he's... I don't have a way to ready him right now, but that's okay. And then... this willpower one I'm going to put onto Celeborn. It's just the best thing to do. So I'm going to spend 1 here to bring out the Weaver. I am super close. I'm at 42. I have not much time here. I need to be able to do some attacky stuff. I could use Gladriel to lower my threat and draw a card. No, well, here, still planning, so I'm going to use Henemarth's action here, and we're going to end up with I'm just going to end up with a doomed 1, basically. That's actually like the best, the best of all treacheries. Let me show you what it is, so that way you can just see what's going on. So this is called Tragic Discovery, and it says raise each player's threat by the threat of the active location. The active location's threat is 1. So I could make a whole ton of progress. I'm not going to be able to do anything with Thardir this time. I'm going to have to chump him with somebody, but this may be the time to claim the other objective out of the staging area so I can do some stuff and then lower threat and draw cards. And so I think that's what I'm going to do. So again, when I scry the encounter deck, scrying is when you look at the top card of the encounter deck, or look through the encounter deck. I'm going to put that card on the top so that I remember what it is. But basically, I'm just going to have to take a 1 willpower hit. It's not going to do anything here. So I guess the thing to do is to just exhaust him and get the extra willpower, because I love having the extra willpower here. Okay. And then I'm going to exhaust her. And I'm still in the planning phase. So if I get a Greenwood Archer, that would be amazing. Oh, but I get an Unexpected Courage. I'm grumpy about the Unexpected Courage because I don't have enough resources to play it. But I lower my threat by 1. Okay. So now questing. I'm actually questing for 2 without trying. That's going to be 3. And then I guess I quest with Thranduil for an extra 2. So 2, 3, 5. Quest for 5. I reveal this. I have to raise my threat by 1. That could be deadly because there's active locations that threat is a whole bunch. But I still have 0 in the staging area. And so that's 5. So there's 3, and I make 2 progress. So soon enough, I'm going to have to do something to this guy. Soon enough. Okay, so I'm going to spend... Oh, okay, deal a shadow card. Spend 2. And I'm going to bring her out. That lowers my threat by 1. That gives me a defender at least, or somebody to chump. Okay, so I will defend for 2. It says, if this attack destroys a character, raise your threat by the destroyed character's willpower. Okay, so I have to raise my threat by 2. Okay, that's a bummer. This is destroyed. Balancing on the edge here. Okay, so now I'm going to use the Elven King. I don't know why the Elven King was exhausted. I must have forgotten. That's actually the way that I'm sitting. It's right behind my microphone, so I can't really see all that. So by doing that, I'm going to bring this guy back into my hand, and then I'm going to attack. Let's see. I can attack for looks like 6. So I can put 2 damage on this guy, which is good. Everything's exhausted. I don't have anything crazy to do, so I'm going to ready. Give myself some resources. Raise my threat by 1. I have to use Island Amid Perils now. I don't have any other option, but I'm going to draw a card. I do get cancel a shadow effect quicker than sight. 0 cost. That's good. The only thing that I really can do is I'm going to Island Amid Perils, and I'm going to bring Rhudaur back to my hand. That's the only thing that I can really do. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm down to 40 threat. And then I guess I could just exhaust Galadriel and lower my threat by another 1. And draw a card. And I get another Handmaiden. So I'm going to play the Weaver. The Weaver takes Island Amid Perils and shuffles it back into my deck. Okay, I'm going to use Henamarth to look, and this is the losing time. We saw this burden at the beginning of the game. It's Surgy. Each player must either raise their threat by 3 or exhaust a hero. I'm going to choose to exhaust a hero I control because I have Thranduil who I can ready. But anyways, let's quest. So that's 2, 3, 7. I'm going to quest for 7. And there's 0 in the staging area. So this comes out. I exhaust Thranduil. Okay, and then let's see. What's the next one? Next one is the Dark Lord. And the Dark Lord, after Dark Lord engages you, put the topmost undead enemy in the discard pile in play engaged with you. Okay, well, that's 3. And so I was able to make 4 progress on the quest. So let's see. I'll do 5 minus this 1. It's 4. I'm running out of tricks here. Okay, well, I'm going to engage this, and I have to find the topmost. Well, let's look at the Dark Lord. Okay, so it says after Dark Lord engages you, put the topmost undead enemy in the discard pile into play engaged with you. So I flip through the discard pile, and the topmost is the Cursed Dead, which is great because it doesn't trigger the when revealed, but also it's also the wimpiest one that there is. So that is as good as it's going to get. I have Tharadir, the Dead Lord, and the Cursed Dead all out in the engagement phase. So now what can I do? Let's see. Well, let's deal shadow cards. So I'm going to defend the cursed. Oh, let me. I'm going to use the Elven King to bring Henamarth back out, and then I'm going to spend 2 to bring out the Handmaiden, just to give me a lower threat here. So that's the best I got. So this guy can chump. So this guy's going to chump Tharadir. I haven't yet used Thranduil to do anything yet. Okay, so it says if the defending player does not control at least one attacking enemy makes an additional attack. So I do control Clue, so no additional attack. This guy dies. I don't have any problems here. So let's say I'm defending for 4. So I guess I will defend the Dark Lord with Thranduil. Thranduil's defending for 4. No shadow. There's one of those sorcery treacheries, so that's good. And then I will defend the Cursed Dead with Amarthiel. And there is a shadow effect. It says if this attack destroys a character, it gets +1, and then I raise my threat by 2. So, okay, so Amarthiel is feeling it. Here, I was going to leave Amarthiel back to attack, but then I realized I was going to lose attack no matter what. So, okay, I will attack and kill this guy. Okay, I need something good here. I need healing or something. Okay, so I get some resources. Draw a card. I get Island Amid Perils again. Wow, okay. Well, that actually is pretty good. Oh, I do have Cancel a Shadow effect too. I should keep that in mind. Okay, I'm going to Exhaust Galadriel. I don't think I raised my threat, so I'm gonna lower my threat to 37. Oh, I get a Feigned Voices. Feigned Voices is great, cancels an attack, and that's exactly a card that I love to see right now. So I have 0 in the staging area. I'll have either 1 defense or 6 defenses this time around. Because if I get the other Cursed Dead, I'll have all 5 of them coming out. And I don't have a cancellation, which is horrible to not see my Test of Will. Or a Galadhrim Minstrel to be able to pull out a Test of Will. There's just so many things not happening. And I'm surprised that I'm even this far into this game doing all right, hanging on. I think I will bring out Henemarth for 1. And I will exhaust to look at the top card of the deck. And it's another Dark Lord. 33. Time to quest. So I'm going to have to quest up against 3. So 1, 2. I could use him to defend. And then I'll fail the quest if I don't. Let's see. I'm going to have three defenses that I have to make. 2, and I will do 6. Okay, so the Dark Lord comes out. So I make 3 progress. So I'm actually at 9. I only need to make 6 more progress, and I have to kill this thing. I don't have to kill anything else. I just have to kill this thing. Let's do a thing. Okay, so I'm going to bring... so I have to engage this guy. I can't travel, so now this comes engaged with me. Deal shadow cards. Okay, so I'm going to Feigned Voices Thardir. And that cancels that attack. Okay. I am going to exhaust and defend, I guess, this. I do have the ability to cancel a shadow effect. So there is a shadow effect that says enemy gets +1/+3 instead if defending player does not. So +1, let's see, so 4, he's defending for 4, so +1 gives him 5, so I need to cancel that shadow effect. Okay, so I will play Quicker Than Sight to pull this guy back up into my hand. Okay. And now I will play Elven King, and I will defend this guy now, I guess. No shadow, no damage. I was defending here. Okay, and then I'm going to use Thranduil's combat action to bring out Henemarth. And Henemarth is going to chump this guy. And it says, if this attack destroys a character, raise your threat by 2. So I can't do anything about that. So raise my threat by 2. Henemarth is gone. Okay. I can attack. Let's see. 3, kill this. And then I'm going to attack here and put 2 damage on this guy. Okay, so So I'm at 40 threat. Oh, I get a test of will. I get to cancel something. And I have to keep the test of will, so I can't play this. Okay. So I have nothing in the staging area. I can cancel some when revealeds now, so that's good. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this still. I have 0 in the, oh, this gets discarded. Oh, that's a good card to see gone. Okay. So how am I going to deal with him? I think I have to lower my threat and draw a card with her. I get the host of the Glathrum. I had a host. I had a semi-host. Just didn't help me too much. Okay. It's funny, I could bring out the host of the Glathrum, lower this guy's by 2, kill. I don't know. It's not worth it for just one ally. I could island amid perils, lower my threat by 3. So I guess I'm going to quest for 4. Okay, let's see what we get. Side quest, Surge. It says at the end of the raise each player's threat by 2. Oh, that sucks. Okay, so that's a surgy. Well, we'll look at this. Okay, so search the ruins. It says at the end of the refresh phase, raise each player's threat by 2. And then it says when it's defeated, reduce each player's threat by 3. So threat reduction, but it surges. So let's see what it surges into. Weight of Rhudaur. It says while the current quest has 1 or more progress, Weight of Rhudaur gains surge. If it has 0, it gains Doom 2. So we get a surge, traitorous weight, and it says force when traitorous rice engage the player, remove 2 progress from each quest card in play. That's going to end up being a lot to deal with. Okay, in the staging area, there's 4, and I quested for 4. I didn't even get any crazy when revealed. Okay, so now engagements. These 2 guys have to engage. I have to remove 2 progress from the current quest. I have a lot of things to deal with and not a lot of things to defend with. Okay, well, deal shadow cards. Well, I'm going to try. So Rhudaur enters play. I get to do 2 damage to something, and that's going to be this guy. So this guy dies. I do 2 damage to something engaged with a player. Oh, there's the other curse dead. That's good. Oh, and then the last, I guess I get that. Okay. So, I'm still going to be alive after this. I can't believe it. Maybe. I don't know. So crazy. Well, I can't do anything except for, let's see, defending for 4 against this guy. I can cancel 1 shadow effect. No shadow. That's good. I'm going to, oh, I spent resources to bring Rhudaur into play. Okay. Let's see. I'll bring the marksman back into my hand to ready Thranduil. And Thranduil will defend this traitorous weight. And I can still cancel. It says for each point of damage dealt by this attack, remove 1 progress. Okay, no damage is dealt by this attack. And now Rhudaur's attacking for 3. He's attacking for 4. So I'll defend with Rhudaur. Rhudaur's actually can live through this attack. Let's see what he gets. There is a shadow effect. It says for each point of damage dealt by remove 1 progress. Okay, so I'll remove 1 progress and do 1 damage. And Rhudaur's damaged, but he lives? This is silly. Okay, and now, okay, so now I'll use Amarthiel to deal 2 damage to, I guess, this guy. Okay. Ready everything. I still have to worry about this guy. Okay, so I would have had I remembered, I would have used Amarthiel to defend this guy. And now I will chump Rumil. And Rumil doesn't survive. Rumil's dead. Okay. Okay, so now we're ready. 3, 1, 2, 3. Raise my threat by 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm at 42 threat. I don't know what's going to kill me first. I'm hanging in, though. I get a tree people. Is that for real? Now I get a tree people? Could I really do this? I don't know if I can really do this. I'd have to make 8 progress here for 15, and then I would have to be able to try to kill all of this stuff. No, just this. You gotta try, right? Okay. Crazy things have happened. So there's the Weaver. I'm going to spend 1 for the Weaver. So that takes the top card of this deck, puts it back into my... Okay. So I'm going to do 2. I don't know what I'm going to do here, but I got to try. So I'm going to do... This is 2, and this is 6. Okay, Shadow. And I get a 4 threat location. Let's take a look at what this does. So this is the Ghostly Ruins. It says anytime the encounter deck runs out of cards, return the topmost undead enemy to the encounter discard pile to the staging area before resetting the encounter deck. And it says return the topmost undead enemy in the encounter discard pile to the staging area. Okay, so that's 4. So I'm going to use Galadriel and Nenya to get myself up to 10. So that's 6 progress. So I'm short there. I thought I was close. Let's see, 8. Let's see, 10. I guess it's 10. So I'm not going to travel. I'm going to play the Tree People and bring the Weaver back into my hand. Okay, so the Greenwood Archer enters play. And when the Greenwood Archer enters play, well, let's take a look. He's ranged, and when he enters play, I get to ready a hero. And surprisingly, I can ready Celeborn, and Celeborn could defend something. This is... I don't even know what's going on. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'll ready Celeborn. Whoop, whoop. Okay, so now I have to deal out shadow cards. Okay, so I will go 1. This only triggers when you're in the quest phase, so I only have 1 shadow card to deal, and it doesn't go to Thardir, it goes to this guy. So I'm gonna have to defend this for 6, and I don't have any way to defend for 6 except for this guy. I'm going to have to play Island Amid Perils. Okay, so that's for 2. I bring this guy up into my hand. Okay, and now I'm going to spend 2, and I'm going to bring him out, and that readies Galadriel. Okay, so I lower my threat by 2. Now I'm going to use Galadriel to lower my threat by another 1 and draw a card. So maybe I get a Feign Voices or something stupid. So I get a Legolas. Okay, so now I have to figure out how I'm going to defend this stuff. Well, I'm going to take this undefended. That puts 3 damage here. Then I really can't do much else. I have 2 4s. Okay, let me back up here for a second. Okay, so I was at 42 threat. Okay, and I had this. Okay. So I'll have to raise my threat by 3 here, so no matter what, that's not going to work. But if I bring this guy out, let's see, if I do that, I can defend, undefended, let's see, I have 3 defenses to try to make. I think that this is the way I have to do it here. So I'm going to okay, so I take this undefended. Okay, and now I defend with Thranduil, no shadow, and then I can do this to return an ally to my hand to ready Thranduil. That still doesn't work because no matter what I have to do this. So okay, what if I don't ready Thranduil? Okay, and I keep this guy up. Okay, so now I can defend. Oh, now I have 4 defense. That's gonna kill. I finally reached the end of my rope here. That was so I'll have to attack with this guy. He dies. And then I can't do anything because if I defend here, I lose him. If I defend here, I lose Marthiel. And I need to be able to bring somebody back. So no matter what, let's see, I need to be able to use Island Amid Perils. End of game. Bummer. But I'm keeping it because I want to make sure that everybody saw that I was at least able to claim all 3 clue objectives. Okay, everybody, have a good day.